I tested.
Do a test.
It's already live, dude. All right, guys, we're back. I'm sure you can hear us now, as I did a sound.
Here, I gotta reset everything where I'm sitting. Then.
All right, buddy. All right. I'll get some messages out letting everybody know we're back. We are live.
All right.
Hopefully we can get this started sometime soon, eh? All right, so we got a couple people in. Hey, Colin. Hey, Colin. Why don't you let us know if you can hear Dylan? We didn't do a test, which we should have. Dylan, I know. But I was getting audio that I wasn't getting before. So
I heard myself.
Yeah, so we're good. All right.
Yeah, I can also hear your keyboard clicking and clacking away like crazy. Loud ass annoying bullshit.
Panic mode. I love mech keyboards. The sound is just incredible. Hey, Lindsay. Didn't even know you were doing a live tonight. Brooklyn is saying hi, Colin. Hey, Brooklyn. How you doing? Kevin, what up, buddy? Good to see you too, man. I got Dylan loud and clear. Okay, so we are good, man. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks for being patient.
We got to know what happened. What was it?
So it was actually the settings in OBS that screwed up. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it wasn't. There was no place to take the sound from. Like, I didn't have anything selected to bring sound into it. So again, I just did a bunch of updates as well as my Go XLR. So I'm assuming that was it. I mean, it's obvious that was it. So, anyways, there we go. Fixed. Done.
I put back in the chats saying that it's fixed.
Huh?
I would put back in the chats saying that it's fixed.
I did. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All except I didn't do either of Ryan's too because I was trying to get it done quick. But I'll do that now. If you want to just get started, you were there Friday, the beginning. I wasn't there, so you want to tell the listeners about your experience Friday night at the draft?
Boring as shit.
It couldn't have been as bad as Saturday.
Dude, it was longer than Saturday. It felt like it was longer than Saturday. It took 2 hours to get through one round.
Wow. Yeah, I guess so.
It was brutal.
I suppose. I would like to see more of that, though. I wish I got to see them get up on stage and stuff like that.
All they did was get up on stage and put a jersey on.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know.
You get to see them walk down and put a jersey on. The only difference is I watched them walk an extra 100 feet.
Well, it's a little bit more than that. I mean, they got to shake hands with all their new, the new owners and coach.
They did that at the table, and there was only one group of owners that went up on the stage.
Was it just ours?
Yes.
Really? That's crazy.
Those were the only owners that went up onto the stage. Every other owner that was there either wasn't sitting at their table, or if they were, they didn't go up.
So what do you make of that? Do you think that the Simons are more involved?
No comment.
No comment?
No comment.
I think that they want to be involved in every aspect, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Literally every team draft. That's literally every team draft.
League
draft. There we go. He corrected himself. What up, Eden? How you been? Sad to see Caddy, Marcus, and Dylan go, but necessary for the rebuild. I agree. I think Dylan deserves to go for it in his last year in his hometown. I think
all three of them do. All three of them deserve to go for it.
I'm touching on him because he's hometown boy from Moncton, right? He's from actual Moncton, Riverside, which is in Moncton.
Riverview.
Right? Riverview, whatever. So I mean, I think it's kind of cool that he gets the chance to win it in his hometown. All of his friends watching. I think that's really cool.
As his house is like 4 minutes away from the building.
Yeah. As he would say, you know, it's really special. Hey, what up, Tom? Yeah, so
Tom, of course you made it here just for us. There's nobody else here.
He made it just for you guys. That's funny. So I do have a bit of a list. I wanted to just call out the names of who we picked up, and there's a couple interesting facts about a couple of them as well.
First, everything started on Thursday with the McKinnon trade, which everybody knew was coming. We got our first, second, and third back in 2026, which will be a good first round to have, I'm guessing.
Now,
sorry, what?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So actually, the part I want to talk about is Vidi. So go ahead.
So next was the Vidicek trade, which not knocking Carrier, but as it stands right now, I am not a fan of that trade one bit. Like, not in the slightest. There's nothing that I like about that trade. And again, anything I say, it's not a knock on these players or anything like that, because I have a few thoughts on picks that we made as well. Not a knock on the kids, because it's not their fault. It's just, especially the Vidi one, I think that was that's a terrible trade.
So the thing I want to talk about with Vidi is, so I have a bet going on with Adam from the Wildcast. If you guys don't know who the Wildcast is, go ahead and check them out. They're growing at a rapid pace right now. It's kind of what we are, but for the Wildcats. But they have a little bit more support from the team, so you'll see a little bit more interaction with players and stuff like that. So check them out; they're really good at what they do. And I just noticed my goatee is completely off. Anyway, I have a bet going with Adam that there's more to that trade. So
I hope so.
If
I truly hope so.
And you said it first, I'll give you credit, but
I truly hope that there's more.
Yeah. So
I do.
What I said was, this doesn't seem right. We're giving one of our best 20-year-olds, a 90-point season veteran 20-year-old with 45 goals, for a kid who's been in the league 1 year, and we're giving 2 trades and Vidi away for this one kid.
Two draft picks.
Two draft picks. And
one of them being our third round pick that we just had this year. So at that point, we weren't picking until the 4th round.
Yeah. So it all around screams to me that there's something on the back end of that. And the deal is, if we don't get Desnoyers next season at the draft, I owe him steak dinner. If we do, then he owes me steak dinner. Because there's got to be something big attached to giving a 20-year-old veteran away who's going to help them propel towards the Gilles Couture trophy. He doesn't see it that way. He thinks they got ripped off. Well, most of their fans think they got ripped off. But I don't see it. What about you?
There better be more.
Otherwise, worst trade ever, right?
Even though Cam said that, or apparently said in an interview that it was done,
yeah,
there better be more.
Well, we both know Cam holds everything close to his heart when it comes to positions and trades and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think
there better be. Yeah, that was not a good trade.
No, and
again, not a knock towards Sean at all. He could be a standout player next year and the year after that, because we're going to have him for
3 years.
3 years if we don't move him.
Yep.
But at the same time, there's got to be something else. There better be something else. Like, I don't understand it.
No, to me, it's not a good deal. Yes, we'll have him for 3 years, and that was the Moncton fans thing, is we're getting somebody for 3 years when they only have somebody for a year. But the thing is you build for this year. This is the year they're building for. Who cares about next year?
Okay, so to completely disprove their whole thing, we got the Matthew Cataford trade,
yep,
which was one player who's going into his final year in the
Yep.
queue. Even though he's 19, it's going to be his last year. And we got 5 picks for him.
100%.
We got 2 firsts, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a third.
Yeah, I don't know what makes them think that rookies are more valuable than proven players. I couldn't make no heads nor tails of it. And they're smart kids. They're smart guys. They have hockey brains. Like they're not dummies. They know more than me for sure. But I just don't understand why they think that Carrier would be worth more than
For a kid
veteran.
For a kid that had 59 games played and only 11 points.
Yeah, exactly, right? But
like, I understand he went 6th overall, but that's not a good trade on our part as it stands right now.
yeah, but like I said, I agree with you. There's definitely something on the back end, whether it's Desnoyers or another one of their heavy hitters. They're building for this team this year. They wanted somebody like Vidicek. They picked him up. There's got to be something on the back end. Has to be. It just doesn't make sense any other way to me. So that's that trade. And then why don't you go ahead and talk about the Cataford trade and let them know your experience with Cataford on Friday.
So the Cataford trade, sucks to see him go.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll be the first person to say that.
He was your first. He was your favorite from the day he put on.
From the day
colors, yeah.
So it sucks, but it's completely understandable. I'm happy for him to see him go and play for the Memorial Cup, because there's many absolutely phenomenal players that go through this league that don't get an opportunity to play for it.
Yep.
So to have that, to be closer to home, it's amazing. To me, I actually like the deal.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the way that it's all worked. The picks in 2026 are actually really interesting, because I was telling you, I didn't want, when we first heard rumor of 2 firsts and 2 seconds, I said I didn't want Rimouski's first round pick next year because they're going to be.
We don't have
any. Can I explain my thing?
Listen, you cut off all the time. I'm just go ahead.
So I said I didn't want their first round pick next year.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a late round pick.
Yes.
But the way that it is, we got it in 2026.
Yeah.
Which is after the first year of their rebuild.
Yep.
Which will make it an earlier pick.
Yep.
If we keep it. That pick will be an earlier pick no matter who has it. So the way that works out is, I actually really like how that trade has been structured.
Yeah.
If there's nothing else on the back end, because again, there's always possibilities. I've heard the odd thing is a possibility, but nothing.
That trade alone, I'm happy with. Without anybody on the back end, to me, that's a fair trade. And maybe we don't use the first and second round picks in 2026. Maybe we trade those for picks in for the next 2025. We don't know, right?
Or we could use them for 20-year-olds going into that year.
That's right. So
because the next year that we seem to be building for is the 26-27 season.
Oh, Sam says chippy between me and you. We haven't been on for a while, so we got to get realigned with each other, and our mojo's got to sync again. But no, it's all love between me and Dylan. He's one of my best friends, and we don't take anything personal. He yells at me all the time, and I yell at him. He's good shit.
And then we hang up and call back 2 minutes later.
Yeah, and talk it out. Yeah, hash it out. So what else did I want to talk? I want to talk on a couple personal things before we get into the draft, actually. So a lot of you know or may know that Dylan McKinnon was supposed to be CJ's Christmas gift, a day with Dylan McKinnon. Dylan's schedule wouldn't permit. They're busy guys, right? And they when they're off, they want to enjoy their time with their family because they're away from them. So Joanne made up for it. She took CJ up to the store, the Moosehead shop, and bought him, a shirt and a t-shirt, like all the brand new swag, and he was happy. He was fine. But it's.
Can I jump in on that for 2 seconds?
Yeah, go ahead.
So she brought him up and told him, pick whatever you want.
Yeah.
Was her exact words. pick whatever you want. And this shows credit to you and Melissa there of he picked one thing.
A hat.
I'm pretty sure he just picked the hat.
He did, yeah.
That's all he picked. And Joanne was absolutely like just the hat, like nothing else. She goes, no, I'm good with the hat. Where she said whatever you want,
except a jersey.
Yeah,
except a jersey.
But with understandably, but she said 100%. So he picked just the hat. It was her that picked it was like, well, what if we get you a shirt too? It was her that said that.
Yeah.
So I give credit to you guys for not raising a kid who's just going to see that and go, oh, I want that, and that.
You know what?
Right? Like he picked something very simple.
I appreciate the credit, but I think we got really lucky. We have really good kids, man. He does that on his own. You know, even at school, when he sees somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of friends playing alone, the teachers have told me he'll walk up to them and try to bring them into his friend group to get them to play. Like he's just a good kid.
Anyway, sorry to cut you off on that.
Okay.
I just wanted that was part of the story.
That's okay. So I spoke with Dylan's mother, and I said, "Hey, listen, sorry to see Dylan go. You know, we appreciate all he's put himself through, so on and so forth." And she said, "No problem. I have a package here for you for CJ from Dylan." I was like, "Oh, what could this be, right?" She said, "I'll send it back after the draft." So Sunday night, I returned home to a Dylan McKinnon autographed, personalized hockey stick on my front doorstep. And I got a video of it up on my Facebook. I may make it into a short for the channel here of CJ's reaction. He was overjoyed. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Stephanie, Corey, Joanne. You guys are honestly salt of the earth type people, and I am privileged to know you guys. Also want to talk about another acquisition I just got. Shout out to Mason. I don't want to drop his last name, but he's a kid that goes to the games, and he is a hustler. He's a hustler. So we had that at the yard sale, and a lot of the jerseys were $20, and you know he put them up for sale. He's a kid who's trying to get some money to buy a jersey that he really liked, and I messaged him to see what he had. And I didn't want any of you had. I said, but hey, do you have either of the two that are on, if you guys look right now behind Dylan, the Cataford and the Biasca one, those are from a game that never got played. And I really wanted one. So I asked him, does he have one? He says, yeah, I have one. I don't know who's on it, but it's got the C on it. And I was like, can you send me a picture of the name? He's like, yeah, I can't pronounce it. And he sends me a picture, and it's Denoye. So I'm like, I'll take it. He's like, well, what do you want to give me for? I'm like, I don't know. It's hard for me to make an offer. I know what you paid for. He's like, I'm like, how about $50 and a jersey? He's like, no. I was like, well, what about $80 a jersey? No. I was like, well, what do you want for it? He's like, I gotta get 120 out of it. I'm like, all right, done. I'll buy it for 120. And then he goes, and I'm not knocking you, kid. I love your hustle. He goes, actually, can you make it 125? After we agreed on a price, I'm like, you know what? You can't change it anymore. It's 125. I'm on my way, and I got there, and I got him that, and I picked up another jersey for another fan. But do you guys want to see? You want to see the jersey?
Nope.
I'm showing everybody else. You don't like it, you don't have to look. So there it is. There it is. And the cool thing is, I'm gonna see if I can't. I spoke with Adam, and Adam has a connection with the Denoyers, and he's gonna see if he can't get it signed for me.
That's all right. That's all right. I got something up on you.
You have a lot up on me, man. It's not a competition. Yes, buddy. So yeah, you didn't talk about that stuff.
Because you cut me off.
I don't remember cutting you off over that part, but go ahead. Tell us all about it, buddy.
Yeah, so I brought that jersey up. One of the main reasons I went to the draft is because of Patty. Like, I knew he was going to be there. He was accepting the MVP. I also knew where he was being traded, as did very many people. It was public knowledge without being confirmed where he was going. And as like the schedule came out, and I looked, at first I wasn't going to go up, but I looked at the schedule, and we play Rimouski in our second home game in our building, which is the 7th game of the season for us. Last year, Cataford was up in the training camp while he was injured for the first 2 games and didn't make it back until the 3rd one for us.
Yeah.
This year, with him being healthy, it's highly unlikely that he will be back to play that game in our building. So I was very, very bummed. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it up. So Joanne told me, like, give me the jersey, and I have the stick and the nameplate as well. She goes, bring me these things over and I'll bring them up. Right. And I'll see them because she was going to see them anyway. So I brought them over, and then it was the day of, and I had to leave work for an appointment. And then after the appointment, I headed up, and I get up there, and sure enough, we're sitting there in the front area of the building, and Cataford's father came over. So we started just chit-chatting back and forth. He thanked Tyler for everything that he did for Matu and everything. And then saw the sticks that we got, and Cataford came and walked right over to us and sitting there chatting, and he signed my stick, he signed Tyler's stick. He also signed my jersey and the nameplate, so it was really cool. And the thing is, we were talking, and I told him, and I'm not afraid to say this because he told me himself, he is really upset about the schedule and the way that everything worked out.
Well, how so?
Because he wanted to give that farewell to the fans in our building.
Yeah.
All right. So he said he wants to spend as much time up in the NHL camp as he possibly can, but at the same time, there's part of him that wants to
come out and do the wave.
Be at that game.
Yeah.
All right. So for his sake, I hope whatever he wants to happen happens. But for his career, I hope he's not at the game.
Yeah, I agree.
It's better career-wise for him if he's not. But it would be really cool to be able to give him that moment because it's the only time they're going to be down here.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have liked to have seen the Fournier moment happen in Halifax. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the issue.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, we never did it. Well, did we do it? No, we didn't.
No, but in St. John, he saluted the fans that were there, and
yeah, but that's because it was his it was the 20-year-old ceremony, so he was saluting everybody and then went over.
Oh, this
to
is
our
at the
fans.
This is at the end of the game, though, right? Like he still got that moment, right?
Yeah, it was at the end of but he saluted everybody, but he specifically pointed us. Yeah. But it was more of a thank you to everybody. But no, it would have been cool.
Yeah. What do I want to touch on? So you're not happy with the what do you think about the schedule that came out anyway? Because we must be one of the last people to start our season. We got home.
We start 5 on the road.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Due to upgrades happening in the building.
Yeah, yeah. But
so
it is what it is.
It's no different than when we hosted the Memorial Cup. I want to say we started the first 15 or 20 games on the road.
Jeez. Same thing. Same reason.
Yeah, there were upgrades.
That was the seats, right? When they changed the seats and everything.
Yeah, so it wasn't that. It was when the year they changed the seats, and we were actually playing Wicked.
Yeah,
but so it'll be interesting. But at the same time, Cam said it the best. Starting on the road is actually not a bad thing, and to start 5 on the road, that forces the team to get to know each other really well, really fast.
Yeah, it does. 100%. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. You ever have that thing where like you're thinking of something, but you're like, be polite, wait till he's finished, And by the time you finish, you're like, shit, it's gone. That's what just happened to me.
Happens all the time. Squirrel.
Squirrel. That's my wife. So Simons own 100%.
Yep.
I like that. I don't know why I like that, but I like that they're that committed, and they're pot committed. They're all in, and I'm hoping we see that from them. You know what I mean? And they're all in here in Halifax.
I hope.
Yeah. That's all I can say about that.
No comment.
No comment. All right, let's get to the chat. Hey, you guys, minute for you. Okay, we read that. Oh, one thing I wanted to touch on is, I'm not sure if you guys know or not. We haven't posted anything about it, but it is on the schedule, and Kate Breton posted it. But the Battle of Nova Scotia is back this year, which I'm excited about. I can't wait to see the new jerseys. I love specialty jerseys. I love the look of them. So I can't wait to see what they have this year for them.
Better save $1,000.
Well, I didn't have to save $1,000 for the two that I have.
No, but going on to auction for the jerseys that they're going to wear, better save $1,000.
You think they'll be that much?
Every one, they've been getting more and more expensive.
Yeah, but the higher, like the bigger names were, but there was still $375 being sold of the last ones, like the last specialty jerseys, right? Hurley Cup,
yeah, but are you?
JP.
But are you gonna want one that's a rookie?
I don't know.
You're not gonna. You know who you're gonna want and who you're gonna go for, and you know it's gonna be pricey.
Yeah, you know what? I may bid on it if he's still with us. I may bid on it. So Kevin wants to know what's going on with the search for the no coach.
Should be this week.
We've heard names.
Could be this week.
Could be this week. Yeah.
No, it was said it should be this week.
I thought you said could be. I don't know what the hell's going on there. I figured we would have a coach by draft, but that didn't happen. There must be a reason for it, or maybe they don't know who they. I don't know. I wish we could get more information from them so that we know what we're coming into this season. But the excitement is cool too. The not knowing. You don't like that?
I'm indifferent about it.
Yeah,
we're going into a rebuild year. Who the coach is really makes it. So my head when it comes to coaching, I don't care because they're probably going to be gone within a year.
So that was my next point. Is hopefully we sign them to a lengthy contract and we keep them. And
we can sign them to a lengthy contract all we want. Doesn't mean they're going to stay.
This is true.
All right, like
when it comes to coaching, mistakes were made. Let's just say that.
But we have a history. Tyler's going into his 8th year, and he's going on to his 8th coach.
Yeah,
and that's counting Midgley twice.
So Tom wants to know what names we heard. Do we share what we heard, or do we say they're rumors and we don't want to talk about them, or what?
Nothing's confirmed.
Nothing's confirmed. I have heard. The hell was his name? Grimes. I heard him, and I believe you said that's definitely not happening now. Something happened, or you heard something.
I've heard that is not happening.
Yeah, but I heard Grimes initially, and we've heard former names being passed around, like former players' names being passed around, but we don't know. No idea.
Yeah. So here's an instance. Andre Tourigny was signed for 5 years and bolted after 1.
Bolted. Just get me the hell out of Halifax. That's funny.
Yep. I hope it's somebody local that won't leave because they're missing their family. As much of a valid reason as that is, I just hope.
So Eden says traffic downtown is gonna suck. I agree. I think we're gonna go back to traveling via ferry.
Here's the thing, though. What people aren't realizing, people saying traffic downtown is going to suck. It's not going to be much of a difference.
Always sucked.
Yeah, but no, it's not going to be much of a difference because yes, they're shutting down Barrington Street from the Cogswell point over to, I believe, Sackville, something like that,
But there's still
or
Brunswick.
just that little stretch. But they're opening up the Cogswell Street to get onto Barrington Street to go towards the bridge.
Oh, where
So
right,
instead
right
of-
at the end of the Parkade Street there?
So instead of coming out of the Parkade and everybody having
turn
to
right.
go left, you can go right or left now. And if you go right, you turn down, you get onto Barrington Street,
Way quicker.
and you go. Or you turn left, and you can turn left again and get on Barrington Street and go that way.
Yeah. Yeah, or you just go
There's
right-
no difference.
You turn right and go up to Brunswick. You turn left, then turn right
Or
and go
you-
up to Brunswick, right?
Yeah, there's going to be no difference when it comes to this if people know what's open.
I've always wondered why they closed that Cogswell overpass. I thought that
They
was
closed it
wicked
because they were doing the
Construction.
Cogswell construction. That was part of it.
Oh, okay. But they
Right.
they finished it for use, like it's going to be able to be used.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was that was phase number 2, I believe, 1 or 2.
I love that. I love that idea. I've
So-
been wanting that access back open.
So they closed that, and Barrington Street was still open. Right now, they're closing Barrington Street and opening that back up. You're just swapping one for the other.
Yeah.
And people saying that you won't have access to the Parkade through the hotel entrance on Barrington Street. Yes, you will, because they can't shut that down.
Why not?
If you look on the map, it's listed as green as you have an access to get into the hotel parking lot from Cogswell Street.
So I want to get. That's cool. Like we're good. We're good for that. I still may take the ferry. I kind of miss taking the ferry.
I'm just gonna pay for the parking.
Yeah.
Honestly, you should too, because the amount of times
Oh,
you were
I know,
at the start of
man.
the year, like I'm gonna take the parking, and then you're parking at the you're parking there anyway because you end up staying later.
Yeah, and I paid triple, if not more, a night than you did because of that $7 pass. That's a great deal. So let's go on to the draft real quick because we got a couple really cool things that happened at the draft. First of all, we picked up 2 members of the Wolfpack. One of which was Cole McLeod, and the second was Cole Bent. The cool thing about that is there's a connection to a Moose alum,
Mm-hmm.
which is.
Can you guess what one?
Well, the cool thing, like,
Can people guess what one? No. Can the people guess who it is?
I don't-
Let's just see.
but the thing is we had a Bent.
Let's
and a
just
McLeod.
see. That's why I'm asking them to guess what
Right?
one, because it's not obvious.
Well, you sounded like you were being facetious. Anyway, yeah.
There we go. Eden got it.
Kelly Bent's brother. That's awesome, eh?
Yeah, and he was in attendance at the draft.
Yes, that's right. You called him over or somebody called him over to give Tyler a hug or something, right?
Yeah, his dad.
I was I thought it was you or Joanne.
No, his dad.
Oh, okay.
Because Cole came down the escalator, and Tyler was saying hi to everybody who was in a Moosehead jersey and introducing himself. And it's fun. He introduces. You see Tyler, and you see this fun-loving, joking around and everything. But he's introducing himself to these players like the most professional
Management.
person you have ever seen.
He did it to my wife's stepmother, Karen, which was Jace Evans' grandmother. We said, "Hey, Tyler, this is Jace's grandmother," and he walks over. He goes, "Hi, I'm Tyler Long." Shook
Yep.
my hand. Oh, that was awesome. We laughed. It was amazing.
The best part is he did it to, where is he? I forget the kid's name. I was hoping I'd remember it if I seen it. But he did it to one of the French kids. And the poor kid had no idea what he was saying. He just saw Tyler's hand come out, and you could see it on his face. Like he's looking around like, ah. And if you're not used to Tyler, he's difficult to understand for some people.
Yeah.
But the kid that he introduced himself to knew a little bit of English. So I kind of yelled over. I was like, he's the assistant equipment manager with the team. And he goes, oh, cool. And but every kid there was really receptive about him.
You were a good you're good to have when he was with you when you went to go give Adam the gimbal and everything, Adam said he was trying to talk to me. He didn't want to seem rude, but he really couldn't understand him. And he said, good thing you were there to translate, because he was able to have a bit of a conversation, because he just couldn't understand.
Yeah.
But
Adam came over, called Joanne, went to go get something, and then that's when Adam came over. Yeah. So that's how that all worked. Usually Joanne does that, but I've gotten pretty good at understanding and knowing what he's saying.
Yeah, there's very few words that I can't make out now. But when we took him out to supper, just little Tyler story, took him out to supper where he wanted to go to his favorite place, Swiss Chalet, and we get there and he was saying that he wants mashed potatoes, but he wants this certain sauce on it, and I couldn't make it out at all. So I had to call Joanne, and he was telling us for 2 days, and we're like, what is he saying? And I had
Ranch, isn't it?
No, I had to call Joanne in Paris. And listen, Joanne, I'm sorry to bother you, but we're at Swiss Chalet. She's taking her order. I don't know what the hell he wants on his potatoes. There's Caesar salad dressing. That's what he wanted on his potatoes.
Caesar dressing.
I could not, for the life of me. It's the only thing. I'm pretty good telling now. I can understand him perfectly fine. It's just that was the one thing I couldn't make out. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
No, Tyler's a good shit. If you get a chance, if you haven't met Tyler this year and you get a chance to, definitely get up and talk to him. He is the biggest fan. He's got the biggest energy. Get out there and meet him. If you haven't said hi to him, say hi to him. So on that note, I mentioned my wife's nephew. Unfortunately, we didn't pick him up. He went a little bit later than expected. I think he went 109 overall.
119
overall. It was supposed to be 72 overall. And he got picked up by Rouen Noranda. Good team. I mean, it would have been great to have him here at home, but
nice jerseys.
He got picked. That's the main thing. So he got picked up by a good team, and I'm proud of him. So good job, Jace.
So one thing that's really cool with the draft that I didn't know is as soon as those players are picked, they go upstairs to a booth that every team has. The Mooseheads shared it on their thing, and at that booth, they have little gifts for the parents and for the players that aren't from around here. Well, even for the players that are from around here. But the very first thing they do when they get up to that booth is they sit down and get their schooling taken care of.
Really?
It happens right there.
That's awesome.
That is the very first thing that happens when somebody is drafted by the Mooseheads.
That's wicked, man. Speaking of schooling, if you guys weren't watching the draft this past weekend, they have now upped the tuition that they are paying each player in the queue by 20%. That's a huge raise. Great job, QMJHL. What a wonderful raise.
That is a wicked bump.
Yeah. Can you imagine getting a 20% pay raise on your weekly paycheck?
Yeah, but imagine being the players that just graduated.
That could have been another year. Jesus.
Right? Imagine being the 20-year-old that... Imagine being Fournier.
Yeah.
Even though he was only in it for 2 years, but still, right? You're at that point where it's darn.
It is what it is. Inflation sucks. So at the draft, we also picked... So somebody made a joke on Facebook saying that we're not at the draft. We went to the McDonald's drive-thru.
Yeah.
Because we picked up 3 of the Halifax Max at the draft this year, and we already have at least one in our system.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they played on the same line, because then I would call them the McTriples. Or if 2 of them make it, they'll be the McDoubles.
And if they're really good, the McTriples with cheese.
Oh. Yep.
Top cheddar.
We used our... When it comes to the picks, we kind of went a little off board.
Yeah.
Just a bit. No, just a bit.
I know what you're talking about. You want to talk about that first rounder. But I want to say that...
And second.
I want to say that, and this is no blight on the kids that were involved in this year's draft, but I've spoken with many people, people who watched them coming up, and other reporters, and they all say It wasn't a star-studded pool this year. It's not like it was like these are the top 10 for sure. There's no way they're not going to be the top 10 picks. It just they were very equal. There wasn't no stand. It wasn't very many standouts.
That's fair. 47?
They must have seen something they like in him, man. They must
Like
have.
again, what I say has zero, like, nothing to do with the kids that are picked.
100%.
Right? Nothing at all. This kid could turn out to be an absolute stud. That is a possibility. But 47? Like, it's understood. Is that the farthest that any team has gone off the board with their first round pick?
I don't know, but it's not like they're spinning a wheel of numbers and like 46, pick them. 47. Pick them. You know, it's they must have seen something that they was.
But my issue with that is, and I have to keep saying this, so just in case anybody tunes in at any point, it's not a knock on the kid, right? But if you're jumping to 47, how come you can't pick him with the 34th pick?
Yeah.
Or if you think he's going to get picked at 47, trade that 48th pick and move up a little bit to get him. Right? I think they jumped back too far with our first two picks, because even our second round pick that we picked at 34 was ranked 84.
Yeah, he was a 5th round. Right? He was scheduled to go 5th round.
Right? Like, I don't understand it. Like, those are two guys I feel where they were ranked. I think we could have got them with a different pick.
So the person who's going to wear those selections is Cam. If they turn out being bad selections, Cam's going to wear that. So I really hope that he was the one that picked them. And if he is the one that picked them, I have confidence that Cam picked them for a reason, and I think that he knows how to do his job. If he's the one that picked them.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, I feel they just went too far to the back of the cupboard.
We'll see. Like, time will tell. Time will tell. Like I said, like we can sit here and judge them. So go ahead.
Now I'll say this: our 3rd round pick, Blake, he actually went before he was, or after he was ranked. He was ranked to go around 29 or 30th or so, and we got him 34. Same with
it wasn't too bad though.
Same with Santini. Like, I believe he fell back just a little bit as well.
Yeah, he got picked up 48.
Yeah, but those ones there, okay, but like, I think I feel they reached too far back in the cupboard. Again, not a knock on the kids. It's not their choice where they get picked at all.
Though, I like some of the size I seen. 6 foot.
Some.
You know what I mean? Like a 6 foot. Like, we got a 6'2" goalie or 6'1" goalie.
6'2" right winger and a 6'3" goalie.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I can't wait to see what Nicholas does.
We also got a 5'7", a 5'8", and a 5'9", and a 5'9", 5'6".
6'3".
That's the goalie. Thomas LaPlante is the goalie.
Noah Olmedo.
Thomas LaPlante. I'm looking at the draft now.
I'm not talking about a goalie. So we got a 6'3", and you said that's the goalie, but I'm looking at Noah Olmedo Mate.
He's listed at 6'2" in the draft.
Is this a 6'3" on their Facebook, on Moosehead's Facebook? But even
I'm on the
third overall.
Yeah, I'm on the Q draft order, and it has their heights and weights and everything. He has them listed at 6'2".
Maybe somebody copied it wrong.
We got at 161. We got Thomas Cote at 5'6", 131 pounds.
He walked out at the end of the game, and he's small. He is. He's small, but
the kid looked like he walked. I'm pretty sure it was him that walked out. He had his backpack on. He looked like he was walking into 8th grade.
He did. He had the new black backpack on. But
that they all get.
yeah, that they all get. But
But like
that being said,
at that size,
these
at
kids
that
aren't done
size,
growing. These kids aren't done
No,
growing.
they're not. But it's just funny to think at that size, Luke can skate past them and the wind will blow him.
Wow, how tall is
The
Luke?
wind will just carry. He's not much taller at all.
No, he's
But
not.
but Lou's wind from the speed will just help carry him.
No, 100%. Oh my god.
Again,
I
no
love
knock on these kids. It's just we're known for having a small team, and I find it really annoying.
it. Do you? I don't
No,
mind it.
Really annoying.
I don't mind it. Like I like to have some size, especially in the back end. But I like having speed
Which
forwards.
on defense, the tallest that we got was 5'11".
Yeah. We just got rid of our biggest player. But we're rebuilding.
Mm-hmm.
We're rebuilding. Positive vibes for the future, man. That's all I care about. If we lose every game this season, we're rebuilding. It's part of it, man. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I really am.
Oh, and cool little fact, Daniel Walters,
Yeah.
right, is the one that scored the goal to win the championship against your nephew.
Oh, no way. That's awesome. That's wicked. Hey, I think Ruan Arena also got one of the O'Donnell boys, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
I'll pull theirs up right now too.
Yeah, so he was a Subaru that played with Jace.
Yeah, they got Owen O'Donnell.
Why is it, Tom? Every time we have a live, buddy, you gotta mention that rat shit team. Tom. You're like a battered, abused spouse, man. You just leave the Leafs. Get help. There are places you could stay, and there's psychiatrists you could speak to. You get out of that relationship you're in with the Leafs. It's no good for you, buddy.
At least they made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs. Rah. They're also the last team to win the Stanley Cup for Canada. They also have
that's
Cups.
Montreal. Montreal is the last.
I was tough because you said my team didn't make it to the playoffs. I said, but they're also the team who has the most Stanley Cups. They're the last team to win it for the Canadians.
And they're going to be the last team to win it for Canada.
Yeah, that's what I mean for Canada.
Yeah.
Just had to do it.
No, I mean like even this year, Oilers ain't winning. Oilers
aren't doing it, man. Oh my god, what happened to McDaddy? Where's the magic, McDaddy?
So here's the issue that they have. Remember how we only had like, if you shut down our top line, we had nothing?
Yeah.
They have 2 players. They don't even have a line
But
to actually
on that note, they're not shutting down that top line. At least the first game. I didn't watch the second game, but the first game we doubled them in shots. We had way more opportunities to that, but we just didn't capitalize.
Yeah, I want to see McDavid's shots in these 2 games. Because that's a big factor on how they're doing. Is McDavid's not putting anything up right now.
He's not,
and neither is Draisaitl.
1,000,000%.
So
my wife's sister is in love with Draisaitl. She lives in Edmonton. She's an Edmonton fan.
So the first game, McDavid had 6 shots, which was the most on the team. The second game.
Again, I didn't watch second game.
The second game, McDavid had 3.
Jesus.
Do you know who had the most? A defenseman, Kulak.
Oh well,
had 5 shots.
From the point, yeah.
He had 5 shots. But like they're shutting him down. They're doing a really good job at it too.
I think the difference in that game is Tendy. It's their goaltender, man. I don't think the defense is shutting them down. The shots don't lie, bud. The difference is goaltending.
3 shots.
Hot goalie can win a series. Thank you, Tom.
Yes, but 3 shots can also lose a series by your star player. Your star player not getting shots can lose a series too, if that's what you rely on.
100%. 100%. I'm not like. Let's not pretend like one person on the team can affect it either way. There's a lot of things that go into it, right? But you're right. You're right. I think Tendy is the biggest thing in there, though. I think it's going to be another 30 years before a Canadian team brings it across the border, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Owen, there's a chance. Oh, Jan is expected to be back, is what Cam said in an interview. He expects Jan to be back. That being said, the Euro draft is coming up, and it'll be really interesting to see if we pick one or two.
And what about so is that the draft that Russia comes into as well, or is that a separate draft?
That's the draft that they're in.
So they're also in the Euro. So I want to know if we're going to take a Russian.
We don't have a history of taking Russians.
No, I know, but like they're brutal, man. Like I'd like to see what a Russian could do for us. Truly, man, I really would. What up, man?
We'll probably go with a Swiss or a Czech.
Yeah,
player.
I think Czech is probably the way it will go.
That's usually where they go to. I think that's where the scouts over there are based, or between those two.
Yeah, nobody.
And I'm sure when it comes to the Russian kids, it's hard to get eyes on them.
Yeah,
because I know flying into Belarus right now, nobody has. There's only like 3 countries that actually have clearance from Belarus to fly into their airspace. And I know that for a fact because I have a guy who works for us who's over there right now because it's where he's from. So he's over there to do paperwork.
Speaking of Russia, so I did get a message from Zach before the interview, and he said, "Listen, we're going to have to reschedule something to do with family." I've been trying to contact him again. He's probably got a really busy schedule. I'm sure he'll get back to me. He did express interest in addressing the Mooseheads community again. So just give it time. We will have Zach on eventually. I know it. Tom says, didn't we have a Russian on the team a few years back? Really small guy?
Ilya Putintsev, yes.
Putintsev.
And he got traded.
How long do we have him for? Do you know?
Putintsev was with us for a year, I believe. Let me pull that up.
And Amiot says
he was tiny.
Amiot says the refereeing has been terrible in the NHL lately too. But that is honestly playoff hockey. They call a lot less in the playoffs. But that punch by who's a Kane? Did you see that?
Yep.
That was gnarly, but that was more than a spicy chicken wing.
So we had Putintsev for 1 year, and then we traded him to Moncton.
Yeah.
And then the year after, so we had him in 15-16. He played 68 games with us and had 22 points. We traded him to Moncton the next year. He played 8 games with them, had 3 points, and then got sent down to the Maritime Junior Hockey League, where he played 13 games and had 11 points.
So he wasn't that great.
When I say this kid was tiny, he's listed here on Elite Prospects right now at 26, 5'7", 163 pounds.
Average weight for that's actually above weight for that height though.
That's right now. At the age of 26.
Okay, all right. It's a tiny guy.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Right, like he was really small. He wore number 53 for us.
So we did get.
He was a good player.
Was he?
Yeah, he was a solid little player.
He did what job we needed him to do.
Yeah, he scored one of the most memorable goals in overtime, I believe it was, that helped us win a big game in the playoffs.
Nice. So we got a few other guys too. I'm not going to mention them all. I'm very interested to see who we pick out of this year's camp, and if we're going to have some open ice invites, or is it all just going to be draft picks?
There's always invites. There's always the players that teams had their eyes on that didn't get picked that they'll invite and stuff. So there's always that. Now, the players that made it up or drove to Moncton, whether it's from down here or drove from like Quebec or anywhere that didn't hear your name called.
Yeah.
That's shitty.
Yeah.
but it's not the end.
Yep.
Right?
So is next year.
At some point, when it hits like 14th round, the chances of I'll say chance of anybody making it on the team
After 30.
at any point. No, I'm talking about at any point after the 10th round is very, 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 very unlikely at any point. So
I would agree, but I would say from the 3rd round on, it's pretty unlikely.
No, I'm talking about like even 4 years down the road. Like I'm talking about
gotcha.
at any point.
You're not
I'm not
talking
talking
about the first year. Okay.
No, I'm talking about at any point.
Any point. Yeah.
Right. So you have an opportunity. If you get an invite, go fight.
Yep.
Go fight hard.
And if you don't get
go
an invite,
show why.
Work out. Perfect your game. Try again next year.
Show them why those teams made a mistake.
Yep, that's right. 100%. So Owen wants to know our opinion. Do we think the Moose make it to the playoffs this year? I say yes.
Yes.
I don't think we're going to be bottom 2 teams.
We're going to make it to the playoffs just because of the fact that we're probably going to have Russo in goal until Christmas time.
Yeah.
He's going to steal us games, and they're going to be key games that are going to get us into the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And we still have some scoring on the first 2 lines. It's not like we're completely dead in the water. We have some good caliber players still left with us. And we're just a young team. And looking for the future. That's all. So don't get discouraged when we're at the arena and we may lose a couple in a row. It's part of it. Just support the boys. Let them know that Halifax is here for them no matter what, and they could surprise us all and go for a deep playoff run. We don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Next year, like not this upcoming season, but the season after that is going to be the difficult one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my thought process. That's why I really hated giving up our 2026 pick.
What do you think about goalies going moving forward?
It's going to be Russo and
after Russo. Milner gets a start, I would think.
Yeah, it'll be Milner. And I don't know who they bring out.
I don't know either. I would love to see Magid. I just like the kid. And I don't think he did bad. I think he actually bailed us out. I mean, we still lost the game, but I mean, we could have lost it by more.
But I don't know who it's going to be because would they move? He wasn't even the first goalie selected.
Who's that?
In his draft? Sam.
Oh,
Magid.
Yeah.
So I think the reason that they were using him so much as backups and stuff is because he's based here in the city. The other guy that we had is based in Fredericton.
Yeah.
Right?
That's Fontaine, right?
Fontaine? Nope. Fontaine's the 19-year-old goal.
St. Ange?
St. Ange.
Yeah, that's it.
So the thing is, if you're going to pull a goalie up to be your backup, you're going to pull one up from your city. It's a lot easier for Magid to make the drive from Quimple Road to the building than it is get somebody from Fredericton, right?
100%.
But if they move Russo, like we all expect them to at some point, he could be moved after game 1. He could be moved in training camp. He could be moved after game 12 or at Christmas time. He could be moved any point being a 20-year-old. But if they move him like we all expect them to, it all depends on how they see those other goaltenders did. And what's really interesting is it's out there. It's funny because somebody from the Eagles posted it before our team, but we have a new goalie coach, it appears. And obviously who they decide to go with after Russo's gone, he'll have a factor in it. Right? They'll take what Joey said to them about the ones that we have, and they'll take what he says about the ones that we have, and they'll utterly make their decision after that, unless it's neither one of them. And when we trade Russo, we get a goaltender.
Yeah, I heard a weird rumor today, or just before the draft, that we were trading. Actually, I won't say who it came from, but I heard we were getting Russo was going to Moncton, and we were getting Steinman.
Dude, that was no, that was Russo going to Moncton was posted all over the place.
I know, but well before that, 3 weeks before that, somebody we both know told me that we were getting stymied and Russo was going up there.
Yeah.
Which is a funny
Now, I'll say I was really surprised that Vidi was the one that moved and not Russo. I said it last year during the training period that I expected that Russo would be gone at the draft or before the season, and Vidi would be one of our 20-year-olds until Christmas.
Yep.
So I was surprised on that. But as soon as we heard that was a possibility, I was like, yeah, it makes sense, especially with the way that Moncton and everything that happened with Moncton going into it. I was like, I see it.
It doesn't make sense for what we got, but
no, but when I say it makes sense, it was before we know what the trade was. It was, yep. Like it was out there, like Vidicek's going to Moncton. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because their 20-year-old and Mueller was leaving.
Oh.
So they had that open spot. Go ahead.
And I just want to give a public service announcement. As much as we love beating the Moncton Wildcats, they're going to be pretty cocky this season. They got a great team. They got a great coach, and this year's their year. So we may have to just take it lying down a couple times, and they're dominant this year. They're going to be crazy dominant.
On paper.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, that's right. Maybe they don't gel, right? We'll see.
On paper.
We'll see.
Because, again, Russo is going to steal some games. And who do you think Russo is going to play harder against?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I've always played harder against my friends when I was a player.
So Dumais and Furlong are both gone. They will not be returning, as far as we know. They have contracts. They're probably not going to play.
Well, it's already been said.
Has it been said?
It was said last year.
That they
Cam said it last year. Cam said it last year in interviews. He said it sucks that this is the way that they're ending their junior career when they were both out with injury in the playoffs.
Yeah. They potentially, if they wanted to, if they were able to, by their teams that they got picked up by, they could play another year in the queue because they're only 20. But it's much like Leroux, who, by the way, had a stellar. We're not even talking about that. Leroux had a stellar year with Milwaukee this year.
Probably only his only year with them.
Yeah, I would say he's going to the show next year for sure. He was the best in the playoffs. He picked up the most points in the playoffs. Is that correct? Or maybe it was best rookie in the playoffs.
What's that?
Russo or Leroux.
I think he got taught. I think he led the playoffs in scoring.
That's right. Okay,
I believe.
So I am right. Yeah, the kid's on a rocket ship to stardom. We're proud of you. We're glad you're a Moose. We're glad we stole you from Moncton. Yeah, man, keep it up. Make us proud.
JP Colin didn't mean it as in like give up in those games. He just said like us as fans have to agree.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is expected.
Yeah, we just gotta realize that we're gonna have some heartbreak this season. JP, you've been a fan a long time. You know what rebuilds are. Yeah,
but we also have to realize how many times have we lost against shitty teams?
Yeah, that's true. My thing is, I'm tired of hearing "fuck you, Cam." You know what the hell you're doing, Cam. And this is supposed to be a year where we're not going to be that great. So it is what it is what I'm saying. Right? Let's, all positivity, peace, love, and harmony, man.
47?
What?
47?
Dave's not here.
Really?
Man. Yeah, 47. You know what? We'll see. I want to see it, and we'll just have to wait, man. That's all I can say. Listen, I'm running out of shit to talk about, and I'm tired. And I'm going to go the hell off this PC because it is hot in here, man. You got 2 PCs right here. Telling you, man. You can see it. You see how wet my face is?
Yeah. Well, I got a sleeping dog right here.
Oh, got fed that dog. Win or lose, I bleed red and green. You should get to a doctor if you're bleeding green, buddy. No, I'm just joking. We all bleed red and green.
We don't have a red jersey anymore.
We're using that for this season, aren't we?
That's what was talked about, but it hasn't been confirmed by
Oh.
the team.
No.
Our two main jerseys are green and white.
They have red in them. Still red in them. Still red in them.
Like even that blue one's those blue ones are questionable.
God, I love those jerseys.
They're Winnipeg Jets jerseys.
I love them. I really like those jerseys. I don't like the look of the C on mine. The yellow, I'm not a fan of that. Like, I wish that would have just been a white C. Right? But it is what it is. Can't be picky. All right, guys. Anything you'd like to say, Dylan, before we go?
Nope.
No? I'm waiting one of these times for you to steal my line. I hope you're all healthy, safe, and happy out there. As always,
Go Moose go.
go Moose go. I walked right into that one.